Nice, sounding pretty wide already. Let's widen the mixer so we can see clearly what we're taking care of. And maybe the shaker is a little bit too loud. But I actually want it to be in the mix, but not that audible. So how do we do it? Is just apply a compression on it. It's there, but it's not that hardly audible, and that's good for our mix. Alright, so let's take care of the drums themselves. Let's solo them by clicking Alt. Let's maybe start with the kick and apply some dip here in the 400 low mid. A little bit EQing here to make it kind of more deep and punchy. That's something you would use for deep house kick, for example. The shaker we already compressed a little. Now let's see. We could maybe add some soft EQing here. Since our samples are already pretty nice mixed, they don't have any sub, bass, low frequencies here. So we don't really have to cut them off, but and maybe some soft compression here. I like to use the limiter for compression since it has pretty nice view here. Everything seems pretty clean here. Here we can get rid of the low frequencies at all. With some soft compression as well. And of course, this one here is layered, so this is our main snare. Can get rid of the low frequencies here. Don't really need them. A little bit deep here. And maybe soft compression as well. We use soft compression to take care of the dynamics, because the dynamics are caused by volume, and volume is the reason for everything actually. Compression makes something glue together, and if something is glued together, that's the reason why it sounds professional when it's glued together. So long story short, use compression to make your sound professional. And now we can add a drum bass compression here with a lot of attack, maybe like 30. And taking the Let's see how it sounds in the mix. This clap is not mixed yet, and we'd like it to be only also not in low frequencies and also not too much in the highs, since the highs and lows are already taken by our clap and main snare. And after that, we also use compression to not make it too much audible in the mix. Also on the drum bass compression, it's important to take the release down. Now it will be cool to add reverb on the snare, so let's do just that. Let's apply pretty high low cut and the decay. Doesn't really sound good, so let's maybe replace it with some convolver. Maybe some cathedral. Maybe take some of the highs down. Also, in order to make our reverb on the snare, for example, really clean, go and apply sidechaining on the reverb from the raw dry snare. But there's a more simple way to do it in the reverb, not that precise, but also working, increasing the delay here. So let's say our snare is about 100 milliseconds long. So if we set the delay to 100, you will hear the delay coming out just after the snare, but we really don't want it, but we can take it to about 40 or 50. That will make our transient really clean. So keep that in mind. Now we can add a reverb on the hats, maybe a small room reverb. Right, this makes our hat sound pretty nice, especially when you turn up the delay as well, as we did previously with the snare. That will make the hat hit like it was in a real chamber. When you don't know how loud it should be, play your song and see when you're starting to hearing this. I hear it here, and now take it down about 3 or 5 decibels. Just a subtle amount that will just enrich your mix. As you can see, we were mixing this hat for a while, and after we played it again from the beginning, I fear that this effect is way too much. I feel like we could take this acoustic snare a couple of semitones up. Perfect. Randomizing tool is very useful, so keep that in mind when you're making for sure the hat patterns.